Hi, I'm back with 20 books 2023, recorded in 2023 in Great Yarmouth. And it's another Sweet Valley Twins book, follows straight on from Centre of Attention. This one's called The Bully, written by Jamie Suzanne. Okay, so interesting too, because created by Francine Pascal, her name is on absolutely everything. However, one thing, I will give Jamie Suzanne some respect. She was very, very prolific. All the books I've reviewed so far, okay, Jamie Suzanne, she is written all of them for the Sweet Valley book. So I'll give her a lot of respect for her output. I mean, this was written back in 1988, incidentally. So anyway, The Bully. How do you stop the worst kid in Sweet Valley? Okay, right. The Bully. A taste of his own medicine, Dennis Cookman is the biggest bully at Sweet Valley Middle School. Elizabeth and Jessica Wakefield, along with the whole sixth grade, are trying to figure out what to do about him. When Dennis smashes Jimmy Underwood's bicycle, some of the kids feel he's gone too far. That's because Dennis is bigger and older, doesn't give him the right to pick on the sixth graders. Something has to be done to stop this bully once and for all. That's when Ken Matthews comes up with the perfect dare that will expose Dennis Cookman as the coward he really is. Okay, instead of just talking to a teacher. Okay, so Sweet Valley. Well, you say okay that this school has a zero tolerance, zero bullying policy when the students do a lot of bullying in this anyway. Okay, so the school doesn't really care about the bullying policy, with the way they talk about Lois Waller, who in the series of Sweet Valley has the stigma of being, oh my gosh, shock horror fat. She's described as fat. That's her distinguishing feature is fat. Right. Lois Waller is fat. So, I know, okay? Okay, if you've got a few pounds on you, okay, no one wants to know you. But also at the same time, Grace Olivier, okay, wants to join the club. Jessica told the others in a hushed voice, we talked about this before, and now I think it's time to make a new policy. No one can be admitted to the club without going through the initiation rites. Jessica's blue eyes twinkled mysteriously. She didn't mind Grace Olivier. In fact, she thought Grace would make a good club member. She just didn't want the club to lose its exclusive quality. Right. So at this time, the Unicorns, which is the club that the Sweet Valley teenagers are in, this is Jessica. So when she first joined the club, the Unicorns, because they're so mythical and everyone loves them, they're the most popular and pretty people in the entire school, okay? Which is made up, okay, of the sixth, seventh, and eighths, okay? So it's like a little group, right, of mean girls. They are mean girls until one actually joins the club. Back then, Jessica had to do some initiation rites. They got rid of it, but now they're bringing it back for Grace. They're bringing it back for Grace, right? And but of course, Lila Fowler, okay, who was the richest girl in school. But Jessica's right. The whole point of having an exclusive club is that it's hard to get in. We don't have go if they go back to initiations again. We won't be special anymore. Lila Fowler was the only child of one of the wealthier men in Sweet Valley, and she was used to getting away. Okay, and said no, and she was outnumbered. Right. So Grace, who wants to be in the Unicorns, wants to be in so they do initiation rites for her where she has to recite a poem in class. She has to do other little things basically to embarrass her. And this is when, okay, is Dennis, right? Dennis Cookman is the bully. Okay, Dennis Cookman is just a nasty piece of work. He's 13. He treats anyone each year younger than him. Okay, and this bit here, right? This bit again. This is page 9, by the way. Straight away. Hey Fowler, Dennis bellowed, coming closer. Lila turned white as a ghost, edging behind Jessica. Don't let him hit me, Jess, she said fearfully. Jessica looked at her face. It's not going to help if you act scared. Oh yeah, you try dealing with him, Lila snapped. It's easy for you to talk. You haven't had a run-in with him. Right. Jessica stood in front of Lila, crossed her arms to go at Dennis. Even she was afraid of Dennis Cookman. She wasn't going to let it show. Get out of my way, Dennis growled. I want to talk to her. He pointed at Lila menacingly. Right. And gets money from her, bullies her for money. Right. None of these kids ever really think to quite the last moment going to a teacher to talk to you about this. Now, bullying is absolutely terrible. I was bullied at school. Bullying is absolutely god awful. Okay, I've been there. Right, I've been in exactly the same position. Okay, as these kids. But they don't think to talk to a teacher or to a parent. They don't talk to anyone about this. It's funny kind of stern, okay, that Sweet Valley, which is you know, everyone is perfect and sun kissed, and and that kind of stuff in California. Doesn't have a zero tolerance policy, right? I mean, this is when I talking to Mr. Bowman, okay, who one of the teachers, the English teacher, right? And talking okay to Jimmy, okay, about this. Is this true, Jimmy? Did Dennis Cookman really give you that black eye? Jimmy nodded. But if you tell who told you, he's gonna make my whole body black and blue, he stammered. Miss Bowman stopped pacing. He said. I guess this means I'm the only teacher you've told about this. Yes, that's true, Elizabeth said. We didn't want to snitch. Now it seems like things are getting out of hand. After he ruined Olivia's mural yesterday, and this morning taking Jimmy's calculator, it didn't seem like there was a way to stop him. Right. I appreciate what you're telling me. I want you to know that you have my sympathy. I'll speak to Dennis this afternoon. I'm sure will be changing his behaviour at once. Right. But one final thing, Mr. Bowman added, you know, in my experience, when someone behaves this way, usually a sign that something else is wrong. If Dennis wasn't so insecure, he wouldn't have to bully you kids this way. Right. Right, yeah. So Dennis is bullying a kid, blacking a 12-year-old's eye, stealing his bike, and ruining it because he's insecure. There's never a question of calling the parents in for a meeting and saying, okay, these students, okay, no naming names, but here's examples of evidence. We have a zero tolerance policy and getting him suspended for this. Right, no, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, but of course, Dennis finds out it's them and comes down on him even harder, of course. And this bit here, this is what they're going to do, okay, for Grace to join the unicorns, right? Here we are. I just figured out what Grace can do, that's all. Just said Gwyn, it'll be how you put it, a test of social skills. What do you say we tell Grace she has to get Dennis Cookman to eat lunch with her? Right. So to join the unicorns, um, Grace has to eat lunch with Jimmy. So that's basically, well, he has to eat lunch with her. They have to eat lunch together. Right. And when they finally do, Jimmy's a bit of a dick about this, right? He even said, do you want a bite of my sandwich? He's eating from the sandwich. Grace finds his baseball mitt and takes to his house and gives it back to him. You see his house, it's lovely and pleasant, okay? You know, they can't use the stereotype, okay, of, you know, living a deprived life, okay, because it's not how it goes. He's just a dick. And they don't tell anyone. And in the end, okay, it takes Elizabeth to tell Jessica this, okay, right. I overheard you and Grace just now. Elizabeth retorted, what's the deal? Are you trying to torture her? How can you possibly ask anyone to get Dennis Cookman to have lunch with them? It would be easy if you asked her to have lunch with the president. Just wants to sit down with someone voluntarily for $1 million. Jessica shrugged. It isn't supposed to be easy, Lizzie. If it were, it wouldn't be a very good test, would it? That's the whole point, to find out whether or not Grace is good material for the unicorns. If she can't do it, maybe she isn't. Elizabeth was fuming. I thought you gave initiation rites a long time ago. I don't know why you brought them back, but if you ask me, you guys are treating Grace horribly. She's going to be in your club, you'll treat her with respect like a friend. Instead, you're bullying her, just like Dennis bullies Jimmy and the rest of us. You're going to ask to do this. In fact, I think you owe a big apology. Yeah, she points out, okay, that Jessica is a bully. She's an absolute bully to Grace. I wonder how she want to join this club, right? But another of the initiations is, instead of having to eat lunch with Dennis, instead, she has to go around town to find a sweater for each of the unicorns, okay? Does to buy it, okay? Because that's expensive. Let's just tell them where to go to get it. Right, that's the thing. Instead of having lunch with Dennis, but she does have lunch with Dennis. She does. And she actually becomes friendly with Dennis. But the plan is to, what they're doing is going to Dead Man's Cave. Now, Dead Man's Cave, there's a Dead Man's, is they're going to this cave overnight, okay? But they're not. All the other sixers are going into this cave, then they're shimmying out through a pipe and then going home. They come back in the morning and everyone's waiting for them to come out saying, yes, I spent a night by myself in Dead Man's Cave. Okay, it's what all the boys are doing, by the way, not the girls. Then they dare Dennis to do it, and he finally has to, but there's no way out for him. Right. Absolutely no way out for him. Right. But as soon as Dennis goes into this pipe, okay, goes into this cave, it starts to rain, it starts to flood. And this bit here, right, a narrow ledge had been formed by the excavation, making a shelf about 4 feet off the ground. Dennis was crouched on the shelf, hugging himself with terror each time thunder crashed outside. Yes, because Dennis could actually drown, okay? And they admit that, oh, no, we didn't stay in this cave overnight. None of us did. We shimmied out and we went home and came back in the morning, okay? So, here you go. And Dennis, there's a big rain pipe there. Dennis said rapidly, I'm not kidding. We used it to get out of the cave. It's filling up with water and it could be flood in here. We've got to get you out of here. It's dangerous. Right. But in the end, Grace, who's become his really, really good friend, says to him, no, no, they're not. Please come out of this cave. And so Dennis is like, oh, I've got a lot to think about. Then he goes home and thanks him for saving his life. And then a couple of days later, they're all friendly. He's friendly with him because they saved his life. Okay, this bully, okay, who trashed their property, stole from them, was a nasty piece of work. Is now. If you told me a week ago Dennis would be eating lunch with Jimmy Underwood instead of eating Jimmy Underwood's lunch, I never would have believed it. Right, here you go. The unicorns were in a special corner of the lunchroom, watching Dennis with fascination. Pretty incredible, Lila agreed. Her eyes were shining. Let's go tell she was dying to spread some big secret on the group. That's the next book about playing hooky. So because they saved him from this storm, they did not call an adult. They did not even tell an adult properly about this. But as they saved Dennis's life from drowning, they're all friends now. He's a good boy now. He's learned. He's not being a dick. Right. No, but no zero tolerance policy. Nothing like that. Just he's all friend now. Okay, I've read a few and of these books, but especially by Jamie Suzanne. I think this is the worst one. Okay, it's a sweet value. I'm not asking for depth, but the fact is that it's been so long to tell a teacher who does nothing. Okay, teachers are actually useless in this book. Right. So anyway, The Bully created by Francine Pascal, written by Jamie Suzanne. Sign off.